Hello everyone, I'm Dong, and now I'm gonna share with you about friction. So let's get started. What is friction? To make it easy, friction is a force that opposes the motion of objects that are in contact with each other, such as when two surfaces slide or roll against each other. Then, as I mentioned, it's friction is a force. So every force has both magnitude and direction, right? Direction of friction is always opposite from the direction the object is moving or trying to move if the object is static. It always shows a moving object down. And very key point for the friction is that they must contact each other. Well, there are four types of friction. First is static friction. Just imagine that you drop a box on the floor, a big box and heavy box, and you only use a small proportion of force to push it, and you cannot push it forward. In this case, static friction occurs because you cannot move forward to the box, right? So, in this case, the box is relatively stationary. Uh, the box is stationary relatively to the ground. So in this case, we can calculate the static friction by using the Newton's first law. And the magnitude of friction is just the same as the force, the magnitude of the force we pushed, but with the opposite direction. For the sliding motion, well, in the same case of if you push if you use larger magnitude of force to push forward, then the box starts sliding. And in this case, we say the static friction disappears, then instead the sliding friction occurs. Sli Sliding friction that arises is a force that resists the motion when one solid surface slides over another, and it's also known as the kinetic friction. And its magnitude is determined by the coefficient of friction, which is determined by the how smoothness that the surface is, and also multiplied by the normal force pressing them together. And the third is about rolling friction. It's quite similar to sliding friction because both of them have the same formula of mu n, where in this case, mu is equal to the rolling friction between two surfaces. Um, let's just make some simple example, like if there's a wheel, and if you push the wheel like that, there will be a sliding friction. However, if you're rolling a wheel like that, then it will become sliding friction. You might think that friction is always harmful or it is a bad force because it opposes the way that the object is moving. But no, in many cases, friction really helps us. For example, like if you're driving a car and just imagine that the friction disappears at some moment, although it's not possible. Well, just imagine that you will never stop your car, even if you turn off the engine, because there's no force pushing the car to stop. And what's more serious that when you probably cannot find a way to get into your car because when you walk, there's friction moving back so that you can move forward. Without friction, you cannot even walk to make balance. And but yes, many times we need to reduce the friction. For example, like in F1 or like in racing car or in aeroplane. So how can we reduce the friction? Well, we can consider about the formula F equal to mu n, right? We can change the texture of the contact surface. We can make it smooth, like on the ice. Or we can change n. We can reduce the gravity or reduce the normal force so that there will be less friction occur. This is really simple in F1, right? You can reduce the body weight of the car. And third way is like you can change the way of friction, the mode of friction, like switching from sliding friction to rolling friction. Like, for example, like you use wheels. Wheels can rolling. Rolling friction normally is smaller than sliding friction under the same circumstance. That's all I want to share. Thank you.